Hi, my friends. Welcome to another WIP and Chat. I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm doing good. Pretty good here. I'm just trying to get organized here. Finding a couple drills around. So yeah, today I thought I would do a WIP and Chat and just kind of catch up with everybody, see how everybody's doing. It's been a while. Well, actually it hasn't. I did a WIP and Chat not that long ago when that was kind of a different WIP and Chat because I was kitting up this, which is Country Ladies. So, oh, I found another drill. Hold on a second. Not the color we're working on. So we're working on this section right here. This is a sign, but I can't tell what it says because part of it I've done and part of it I haven't. So we'll have to, what does it say? Oh, it says choice feed. Okay, choice feed, because it's chickens, of course. So yeah, I am working on Country Ladies, which I unboxed, and I also did a kit up for if you're interested in seeing the picture of that. The unboxing has a better, view of the actual picture. It's a large picture. It's 38.6 by 27.6 inches. So I don't know the centimeters, and I can't see it right now because my canvas is rolled up. Yeah, my canvas is rolled up still. I don't have very much left to go on this though. Like I am almost to the end. Oh yeah, I forgot this was sideways. Okay, yeah, it's 38.6 by 27.6, which is 98 centimeters by 70 centimeters. So it's kind of a big one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 12 squares left to do. I've been averaging 2 squares a day. Let me grab my measuring tape real quick. My cute measuring tape. My gosh, I love this measuring tape. So like this square is 7 inches by 5.5 inches. Let's see, is this one about the same? Yeah, so these squares are like 7 by 5.5 inches. And I've been doing 2 a day, so we'll see. What is that? 14 by 10.5. That's not that big, is it? I don't know. I don't know what big is or what big isn't. So I'm using this pen. It reminded me kind of chickens for some reason. I don't know why. I don't have a chicken pen. So this one just kind of said greenery, and there's some flowers and stuff in here. I used this also for my Season of the Witch because it was kind of autumn-like. But the other pens I have, they don't scream chicken to me at all. And this was the closest one. I'm using a 7-placer that I got from Diamond Art Club. I do have pink wax in my multi-placer. I just can't seem to do glue dots in there. I did order some putty from Diamond Art Club just to check out their putty. So it's sparkly. I don't know what that's about. So actually I should be getting that here pretty soon. And then in my single placer, I do have a glue dot. So, and I just put this glue dot in not too long ago. So we should be okay. We should be okay with this. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to start working on this symbol right here, which is, so this painting is sideways. So that's the bottom of the painting and that's the top of the painting. So this is actually this symbol. I call it the lowercase t, or upside down T, sorry. But in this picture, of course, it's going this way. So that's what's going on with that. So like I said, how is everybody doing? How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I know one of my friends wasn't doing well. Out in diamond painting land. I also wasn't doing very well. I got sick. I don't know what it was either. But I got sick for 4 days. I mean, I was like down and out sick. It was the yucky kind of sick, if you know what I mean. Like really yucky kind of sick. So I just basically, I was just like napping all day long when I could. There were many runnings to the bathroom, put it that way. And poor Coco, she couldn't understand what was going on. She was all happy that we were laying down and taking a quote unquote nap. And she just was like, why do you keep getting up? What is your problem? So, sorry, I need to get in the groove here of laying down drills. Can you guys hear my wind chime? The weather is just, it's so windy today. It's super windy. Speaking of windy, well, this happened when it wasn't windy. We were sitting out on the front porch having our coffee. This was, I don't know, like 3 days ago or so. Wait, is that right? No. What's today? I think it was 2 days ago. And yeah, because I was sick last week. Okay. We were sitting out on the front porch having coffee and we heard this huge thunderous sound. I mean, and we knew what that sound was the second we heard it. It was a tree falling down, a big tree falling down. And man, was it close. It was really close. But we couldn't see it because it was on the other side of our house. I guess I could put that down now. It was on the other side of our house. So we were on the front side of our house. And the tree that fell was on the back side. So we walked around and took a look. I mean, oh my gosh, if you guys have ever been in a forest, the old cliche, but if you've ever been in a forest and heard a tree fall down, you know that sound. It's a scary sound, especially when it like hits the ground. It's like boom. Or even if you've been in like a windstorm or something and you've heard a tree come down, yeah, it's scary. But this was in the middle of a calm day. There was like nothing going on. So we have this maple tree. It's kind of close to the house. It's not close enough to where it would like hit the house or anything like that. But it's I mean, it's a big maple tree. And yeah, it's a really big maple tree. And part of it broke off. Just part of it broke off the top. And like, oops, my glue dot's getting too sticky here. Just part of it broke off. Just the top part. And it made that much noise. We waited until the next day to go back there and look and take a look. Because it's right by where our shooting range is. And I was like, oh no, did a tree fall on our shooting range? No, it didn't. So yeah, there goes my wind chime again. This is a really heavy duty wind chime too. It's the wind chime. So I have several wind chimes out on my porch and I have different like weighted wind chimes, if you will. I don't know how you would call it. How would you say it? So like there's ones that, if the wind's blowing really hard, sorry, I was just trying to figure out why my sump pump was on. Why would it have been on? That's weird. I wonder if I need to go check something in the apartment. I'll see if it comes on again. What was I talking about? Oh, I have different weighted wind chimes. So like this one that you guys are hearing is the one where I know the wind's really blowing. If I hear that one, it's like, okay, we've got significant wind. And it is. It's blowing. I'm going to need some release paper right here because I keep sticking my hand in this. Got my Diamond Art Club release paper here that I've had forever. I just keep reusing it, you guys. Like I got a free, it was free, quote unquote free, because I had to pay for shipping. But I think I did. This was a long time ago, but I got like 200 sheets. I have only used like maybe 8, and this was like a year ago. So they will last you forever. I need to go get me some Crafty Peeps, Crafty Peep. You guys, sorry, I'm like blanking out today. I don't know why. I just got done working out. I don't know, like my brain is just, I'm in a fog today. I have major brain fog. I need to get Crafty Peep release papers from Bee's Crafty Corner, I think is what it's called. Okay, so we got all those done. Yes, yes. Okay. Don't have much of this left, so there must not be hardly any of this left in the painting. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the release paper, go over to Crafty-ish Kristen. She has could be the Crafty Peep release papers through Bee's Crafty Corner, I believe is what it's called. But she has all the information on her channel. So yeah, you guys, last night. So you guys know that we have security cameras, and we have automatic lights that come on outside, like our porch lights, our backlight, just all of the outdoor lights come on when it gets dark. There's a sensor. I don't know where the sensor is. Actually, no, I do know where it is. And so I was actually diamond painting and the lights came on and I was like, oh, it doesn't even seem that dark outside, but okay. So I like to close this blind because it's like there's all these lights on and I'm out here by myself in the forest and I'm like so freaked out about like scary monsters and boogeymen and all that kind of stuff. So I closed the blinds, and when I was done diamond painting, I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go put my pajamas on. I'm gonna watch some YouTube. I'm just gonna relax for a little bit. What is this? It does say choice, right? You know, I literally cannot read it because I want to say, it says chicken, but there's no N. I'd have to grab the book. It's too much of an angle for me. And so I go and put my pajamas on and I come downstairs and the security cameras are always on our TV. We don't watch TV, so it's just a screen that has security cameras on it is all it is. I feel like a security guard at some bank somewhere. And so I'm watching YouTube, so I'm turned away from the TV, but I'm like at an angle, so like I'm not looking at the TV, but my body's like kind of angled away from it, but my peripheral vision, I can see stuff on the security camera. And so I keep seeing what I think is something that's flickering. But when I look, there's nothing there, but the camera is saying that there was, okay, now what does this say? This is driving me nuts. Something choice feed? Can you guys see it through the camera? Oh, there's kind of a glare through the camera. I don't know what that says. Okay, anyway, it's cute. So I kept seeing something flickering out of the corner of my eye, but when I would look, there's nothing there. And the porch, or the security camera was going off, and it was really freaking me out, you guys. It was really freaking me out because the security camera catches motion. And the front yard is or the front porch is notorious because of our flag. The flag is always blowing in the wind, and so it's always going off, you know. So it's like, it's just the flag. So I'm like, okay. Kept seeing the flickering. I would look, nothing. So finally I got really irritated and I was like, I'm just gonna freaking stare at this thing. So I stared at it and there was a light show going on our front porch. One of the bulbs apparently had gone bad and was just going off, on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, and it would stay on, it would go off, stay on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. It was really creepy. It was creeping me out, but it was funny. I was like, oh, okay. Told my husband comes home, he's like, oh, dang, I see what you're talking about. He just took the bulb out for the night. So it was dark. We have 3 lights on our porch, so we had 2 other ones, but yeah, it was pretty funny. What the heck is that? What is flickering? It was funny because my son was over here the other day and he was playing around with the security cameras because you can go back and rewatch stuff. And so he was watching like himself loading up stuff for the dump and all this kind of stuff. He's like, oh, watch this. Here's where I get mad. Because he was loading. Oh, I missed these right here, you guys. How did I miss that? Oh, geez. I'll grab the color again. I'm notorious for missing colors. But yeah, he was playing with the security cameras and watching. He was watching them back, seeing what was going on. We were watching all the delivery people driving up. It's pretty cool having security cameras. I'll be honest with you. It's actually pretty cool. It's fun, you know, and it's comforting to know that we have them. To me, really comforting. Coco, it's okay. I have no idea why she's growling. So speaking of my son, I'm so proud of him. Oh my gosh, you guys. So he works for the city, a city. Yeah, let me go back to that color because it'll drive me nuts. And so he started out as a seasonal, which means obviously you're just there for a season. So you're only there for like, you know, like they only expect you to be there for like, I think like 3 months. You're not on contract. You're not like, you're not anything. You're just a seasonal. So you would like mow the grass and stuff like that. And actually, I don't know what else he did as a seasonal. It's been a while now. But so he started out as a seasonal. And he made it to a, oh, what's it called? Something 1. It starts with an M. Oh my gosh. I need to start taking brain pills. Maintenance, thank you. Maintenance 1. And then, so he was that for a while. And then he got promoted. You guys, I missed these 2. Oh, you can't. Oh, yeah, you can. You can see those. Here, I'll move it so you can see it. There. Because I want to get those. Oops. There. So he made it to a maintenance 1. And then he got to a maintenance 2. And that's as high as you can go in that area. And then after that, it's supervisory positions. Well, his boss came to him and said, hey, just wanted to let you know, we are having an opening for a lead position. And we really want you to apply for the job. So he's like, oh, okay, great. And so this was the guy that was the lead is Brennan's like really good friends. They've been friends since like 8th grade. And they both work together. They carpool together too, which is cool. And his friend just got a Ford Fusion, so the gas mileage is really good because they have to drive quite a ways. And my son's cars are gas hogs. He's got a big old truck, and then he's got a Crown Vic, which is like an old police car. If you know what old police cars look like, that's what he drives. Anyway, his friend got so his friend was the lead. That's how this position became open. Is his friend was the lead, and the mechanics were like, "Hey, we need another mechanic," and his friend jumped at the opportunity because you can make a lot of money as a mechanic. And I'm like, wait, don't you have to be a mechanic in order to get a mechanic's job? I'm completely confused. And sometimes my son isn't like, I don't fully understand what he's talking about, because I'm like, but he's not a mechanic. Like, how can they hire him as a mechanic? So he got the mechanic's position, and as soon as he did, this position opened up, this lead position opened up. And so, like I said, his boss was like, hey, we really want you to apply for this job. It's only going to be open this week. And then, you know, we're going to be hiring after that. And so my son's like, cool, you know, I definitely want that position. And everybody at his work is like rooting for him. I really hope he gets it, you guys. I hope he gets that job. He so deserves it. He's been there for, gosh, how long has he been there? He's been there 3 or 4 years now. So he hasn't even been there that long, and he's like gone up the ladder really, really fast. He is making so much money too. Like, when I was his age, oh my God. He is, you guys, I'm not going to say how much he's making, but I am going to say that he's almost middle class income. Yeah, almost. Just put it that way. And he's 24. And he's got all the benefits. So I would say he's doing pretty darn good. And here's the sad part. We live in Washington State. He can't afford to buy a house. That's right. He can't afford to buy a house. That's how bad housing here is in Washington State. It's completely impossible. My daughter and her boyfriend are paying for rent. They're renting an apartment. Their rent is as much as our mortgage, because we moved in, you know, we bought before everything went downhill even worse, because housing has always been bad here, but it's really bad now. A guy at my husband's work he's a mechanic. Okay, I'll stop there because I want to make sure that I'm in shot here. A guy at my husband's work was looking to buy a house. My husband referred him to our realtor because she's like the best ever. Okay, you know what? My thing just went on again. My sump pump just went on again. And I can't go check it right now. That really makes me worried. There should be no reason. It only comes on if you've like flushed the toilet a lot, or if you're running the dishwasher and it's getting low, or there's something running somewhere. So something is running somewhere, and I'm thinking it's in the apartment. So I'm going to have to check on that because something is running. But he was trying to buy a house, and the cheapest house he could find was around $400,000, which was a piece of crap. It was like it was built in the 70s. It completely needed to be gutted. You guys, there were 11 bids on it. 11. Because not only is stuff so expensive, you can't, oh, there's a, man, this glue stick, or this glue dot is really sticky. Not only, sorry, I didn't mean to yell in your ear. I was moving over around there. not only can you not afford anything, but what you are going to be able, if you can afford something, it's going to be something really crappy. And, you know, he knows what he's doing. Like, he could he could renovate this house. But even with him buying a point down on his loan, it was going to be like, I can't even remember what my husband said, over 6%. I don't know what the heck is going on. It's so bad. Like, I don't know how my daughter is ever gonna be able to own a house. She doesn't make as much as my son, and I don't know how he's gonna be able to afford a house. You know? It's really sad. I mean, we have literally contemplated moving from this state, which would break my heart because I love this state because I was born here. But when the housing gets to the point where, I mean, you guys, it's like, it's ridiculous here. A 1-bedroom apartment is going to run you about $2,400 a month. So, and that's way out of Seattle limits. That, forget about living in Seattle. We're talking way more if you're living in Seattle. I'm talking about major outskirts where you're pretty far away from the city, and it's that much money. So yeah, it's very expensive here. But we've thought about moving to like Montana. It's very beautiful there. My son's been there. I haven't been to Montana, but oops, I got one too many. It was just a thought, you know, like maybe retire there or something, because it's so expensive to live here. It's so dang expensive. I just think about, you know, I'm so glad that we have this house and we got it when we did. So anyway, yeah, so hopefully he's getting a promotion. So, and speaking about apartments and housing and rent and apartments and all of that, my husband helped our daughter move. I was sick. This was last week and I was sick, but he helped her move. And let me ask you guys something. So they got a U-Haul truck and stuff, but let me ask you guys something. So when you ask somebody, hey, can you come and help me move? I'm moving. Can you come help me move? Here's what I would do, okay? And tell me if I'm way off. I would make sure that everything was packed up and ready to go within reason. There's going to be some stuff, you know, coffee cups that you needed to keep out because you needed your coffee, maybe your coffee maker. I would have been using paper plates for the week prior because I would have been packing all that kind of stuff. But within reason, you would have things packed in boxes, ready to go. Yes, there's furniture that needs to be moved, but things would be in boxes. So my daughter's like, we're moving, blah, blah, blah. Can you help us? And she wanted, my son refuses to help her move. And this is why he refuses to help her move. In a minute, you'll find out why. So, she was like, well, I need your help on the 8th and the 9th. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, why do you need help on 2 days? When you move. Like, you're taking all of they weren't renting the U-Haul truck for 2 days. It was a 1-day rental. And I'm like, what are you talking about 2 days? And my husband's like, well, I'm not going to do 2 days. He's like, I need a day off. And my poor husband, you know, having to lift all this heavy stuff. But he's the dad, you know. He loves his daughter. We all love her. And they needed help. So my husband gets there and he walks in complete horror. So he saw the U-Haul outside, and what it had in it was the bed frame. Now, they had gotten the U-Haul at 12:30. He showed up at 2. They had the bed frame. The bed frame in the U-Haul. He's like, oh no. Oh no. He goes inside and they are putting stuff in boxes. There was, you guys, there was hardly anything packed. Hardly anything. Like my daughter's doing the kitchen. She's like, and my husband was just livid. He was like, are you kidding me? And the reason why he was so livid was because this has happened before. So this was not the first time this has happened. This has happened before, and this is why my son will no longer ever help her move, because she doesn't get anything ready. So nothing's ready to move. Like the fish tank still had water. The fish were still in it. Like, I mean, everything was still out of boxes. Like her boyfriend was like over in some corner with some box, like going through the box, looking at the items. And my husband's just standing there like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. This is ridiculous. So anyway, would you guys do, there's no way. Don't you, if you ask somebody to move, I told my husband, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I told my husband, I said, it's equivalent to asking somebody to a barbecue. And you're like, hey, do you want to come over and have a barbecue with us? And you're like, sure. Do you want us to bring anything? Sure. Can you bring some pop? Yeah. And you end up showing up and they're like, okay, there's the ground beef for you to make the hamburgers. Like, what? Yeah, so there was nothing ready, and he was just like, he just started grabbing whatever, and he was putting stuff in boxes and taking the boxes out, and he was just like, I am not gonna flip and be here all day. He's like, you know, I've got stuff to do. He's like, I thought that this was gonna be like, I'm coming over, I'm helping you move boxes and furniture, we're gonna go to the new place, we're gonna unload it, you know. Nope. This was a help us pack. That's different than help us move. Helping you pack is not helping you move. Sorry, it's not. You should have packed before. So yeah, he had to go through that, and he was exhausted by the time he got home. Poor guy. He took his water bottle, so he just drank a ton of water, he said. They did buy him food. That was nice. But yeah, my son refuses to help her move because the same thing happened to him twice, actually, with her moving. So he refuses to go over there anymore. And he's got a truck, so. But yeah, he's like, no, never again. Never again. Okay, what is this symbol? So this one, so it's sideways for me. So it's this one. Yes, okay. Well, we've been having fun with squirrels in our backyard. Coco loves to chase them and stuff like that. And we've acquired quite a few squirrels, gray squirrels. I don't know where they're coming from. We have black ones too. But the gray ones are all over the place. And they must have had babies or something, because they're literally all over the place. And we were watching the security camera, and we saw some movement. One of the cameras went off, and it was in the driveway. And we have our strawberries up on this table so that the slugs don't get them. And it's not a table, it's like a stand. It's like a plant stand. And it's outside, and that squirrel, we watched him go up and eat some of our budding strawberries, because the strawberries are starting to hatch. You know what I mean? They're growing, they're fruiting, they're doing their strawberry thing. Yeah, so he went up there and he was just eating them. So now we know who's eating our strawberries. I tell you, we cannot catch a break here between the rabbits and the squirrels. we're not going to have any produce. We're just not going to have any produce because of these animals. What is the deal? Darn squirrels. Okay, well, you guys know that I do questions at the end of all of my WIP and chats. So I'm just dropping my drills all over the place. I was tagged by Mushy from Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. Please go check out her channel if you haven't. I think that most of you guys would like her channel. She's really nice. She does a lot of dark and creepy paintings. She does mostly, you know, like horror stuff. So, yeah. So if you like that kind of stuff, she does that. I only do my Ennisquero stuff. You guys know me, my dark times. I'm doing my light times now. It's summertime, so I'm doing happy, shiny things. But I am going to get back into my Ennisquero stuff soon. Is that the refrigerator I'm hearing, or is it my sump pump? You guys, hold on a second. I think it's my refrigerator. I can't tell. It's really loud though. No, that's got to be the sump pump. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to do questions because I got tagged to do questions. There was 10. I'm only going to do 5 today. And I'll pick up the other ones in my next WIP and chat, okay? So the first question is, if you could own an exotic animal, what would it be? I'm going to assume, I want to put a caveat in there that it wouldn't kill me. Because I have always wanted to have a black panther, like so bad. I've always thought that they were so beautiful. Or a jaguar. Ooh, or a jaguar, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Either a black panther or a jaguar. And I'm assuming, like I said, that they wouldn't kill me. I would be terrified though. I know a lot of people in Florida own like all these exotic animals in Florida. I think in Texas too, right? Like they have all these exotic animals. Yeah. So I would own a black panther or a jaguar. What about you guys? Nope, that was definitely the sump pump. Wonder if the toilet is running in the apartment. You guys, did you see all of these and were you guys like, what the heck? Why did you miss all these? I bet you were. Okay, what is one of your favorite memories from your childhood? Well, we used to have a farm when I was like between the ages of 3 and 6. And we had horses and cows. And I had a horse named Pepsi, believe it or not. She was an Arabian. And she was white. And she kind of had, to me, what looked like bubbles coming up the side of her. Grayish colored bubbles. She was really pretty. And I used to ride her bareback. Yep, it was the 70s. I'm telling you, Gen Xers, man. Come on, unite. Yeah, they used to just put me up on the horse. There you go. Look at that. Let's take a picture of her from 10 feet away. She'll be fine. That horse won't kill her. It's so true, though, you guys. If you guys are Gen Xers, raise your hand. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, Lord. Yep. Leave them out in the friggin' snowstorm. I love that, though. I love the tack room. We used to have a tack room, and I used to love to go down in there because it smelled like leather. All the saddles were down in there. It was weird. It was because it was down. It was like kind of like a cell, like it should have been a cellar, but it was a tack room. It was really, really cool. And we had 2 dogs, one named Jojo and one named Bobo, or maybe that's what I just called them. I'm thinking that's what I just called them now that I think about it. And do you guys remember, or if you have animals, I don't even know if these are still around anymore, so they might still be around, but they used to have this dog food called Gaines burgers, and they were like loose. It was like, okay, let me describe this. It was literally like a ground beef patty in like saran wrap. So like you would take it out of the saran wrap and like it would crumble into the dog's dish. I'm sure it was super horrible for the animals, like really bad dog food, but yeah. So I love the Gaines burgers because I thought they were the coolest thing ever because they look like real burgers. It looked like real ground beef. So I have a funny story about actual food at the farm. So my dad was super young so he was like 20 when I was born. And he didn't know like how to feed me. Like he did not know what to give me. And I was like, I don't remember this. This is a story from, she wasn't my real grandmother. She was my step grandmother. But this is a story from her that I'll never forget because I thought this was hilarious. And it so speaks to my personality today as to who I am. But he gave me this huge glass of milk, some eggs, and for some reason, like some cheese. I don't know if the cheese was on the eggs or what. And I didn't want to eat it. And he's like, you need to finish your breakfast. We were getting ready to go or something. I don't know. And he's like, you need to finish your breakfast. And so I waited for him to leave the room. And my step grandma was in the kitchen because the table was in the kitchen. And she was in the kitchen cleaning up. And she said, I waited for him to leave the room. And I got up with my plate. And I walked over to the garbage can. And I scraped it off into the garbage can. And I went and sat back down at the table. If you guys knew me, you would be like, that was the budding Raimi. That was the budding child right there. That was definitely her. Yep. So yeah, it started young with me. So yeah, those are some really good memories for me. Okay, speaking of food, next question. What's your favorite type of food? Can you guys hear? Oh my gosh, it is so windy outside. Listen to that. My favorite type of food. I'm gonna go with, I love Mexican food. Love Mexican food. But I also love Italian food. Like, I wish I could just eat pasta all the time. Can't. I'd blow up like a balloon, but I'm gonna say Mexican food. I really, really like Mexican food. Is that my favorite type of food? I really like burgers and fries though. So I don't know. No, I'm gonna go with Mexican food. Yeah. There's a lot of variety with Mexican food too. And then there's like Tex-Mex, which I'm not really sure what that is. I remember when we went to a Tex-Mex restaurant one time. It was really good, but real different. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Mexican for sure. Okay. Next question. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be? So when I was getting tagged with these questions, I was watching it on Mushy's channel. And my husband and I both said the same thing at the same time. And it was the same thing that she picked. So I swear to God, Mushy, I'm not copying you. I would eliminate having to go to the bathroom because I cannot stand it. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Takes up too much time. Don't want to do it. Gosh, can you imagine not having to do that? Yeah, I mean, what would it be like, do you think, if like we didn't have to sleep? Like you wouldn't have any bad effects from it. Like let's say you wouldn't get tired or anything like that from it, but we didn't require sleep. That would be something else, because that takes up a lot of time. No, but it would be going to the bathroom for me, for sure. Going to the bathroom. Okay. And the last question for today is, what's your favorite board game or card game? Mine's naughty. I'm just going to tell you right now. There's this card game called Cards Against Humanity. And it is a very, very naughty card game. It is for adults, not for children. But, oh, there you go. But yeah, it's good. It's a really fun game. I mean, you would have to play it with like people you really knew well. Like I would definitely not play this game with like, hey, we just met, or hey, I'm going to have my work buddies over. I definitely would not play it with them. But yeah, it's called Cards Against Humanity. And like, as far as a board game goes, the board games I remember are like, do you guys remember the board game Life? That was a pretty fun one where you had to make decisions on like different things, buying a house, having a baby, all that kind of stuff. I really like that game. I really like that one. Let me back you out and then zoom you in, because it seems like I am getting in the way. Yeah, I think the game of Life or Monopoly. Monopoly just takes forever. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like you have to leave it for a day and come back almost, you know? I don't think I ever win at Monopoly. And you know what else with Monopoly too? I swear every time I have played it, we have like stopped and like given up. Like just been like, we're done. We're done with this. It just takes so long. Man, once that person gets the higher expensive properties, it's like you're done. But yeah, I would say, do you guys remember the game of Life? Oh, there was also another one called Mousetrap. And the only reason why I liked that one, this was when I was little, was because it had cool little, like accessories that came with it. It had like this little thing that would drop down. Do you guys remember Mousetrap? This little thing that would drop down to catch the mouse and all this kind of stuff, and all these little gadgets that came with the board game. That's the only reason why I liked it. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Life, and I don't really like Monopoly though. Yeah, Life. I keep getting confused. The reason why I keep hesitating, these are ABs, so I'm having a hard time picking these up, is because I keep thinking of games like Operation, Perfection, Trouble, and those aren't board games. Operation, I already said that. All right, my friends. Well, thank you for helping me spell out this word. I don't know what it says. Should I grab the book real quick? Can you guys read it? Here. I swear it says chicken feed, but the thing is there's no N. There's no N. Let me grab the book real quick and I'll look at the picture. Because I don't know what that is. Let's see if we can see it on here. Here's the picture. Where is it? Oh, it does say chicken feed. See how it's covered? Oh, it's covered by this. Okay, it's covered by this where they walk up and down. So it does say chicken feed. It's just behind that. So I am right here. I am right here in the painting. Wow, I've gotten a lot done because it was from there. So I've got this much left to do. Okay. All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for my WIP and chat. And I will talk with you soon. Loves.